in this video, we are going to talk about the pollen grains, right? And in the last video, we talked about the two-celled stage of the pollen grain, three-celled stage of the pollen grains. How these cell stages are, formed at what time, and the percentage and all that what we have seen in the last video. I will provide the link in the description. You can simply go and check. Okay. Now, this pollen grain, if you just talk about, comes of the various shape, right? And the diameter, if you just talk about, is 25 to 50 micrometer in the diameter, right? And just to recall, I'm simply drawing the rough sketch of the pollen grain. This pollen grain, the mature pollen grain, they consist of what? Two things. The one is your vegetative nuclei, and these are the nuclei of the generative cells. These are the generative generative cells. This generative cell later known as what? The male gamete. Okay, so this is what the plasma membrane of it, and this layer is basically known as what? Intine. And this is basically made up of what? Cellulose plus pectin. This is important, right? And the outer layer of the pollen grain is basically made up of what? Yeah, these are what? Okay, so these are the exine. This is the outer layer. This is the outer layer, and this is made up of what? Sporopollen. This sporopollen got very, advantage. Giving the advantage to the pollen grains, because this is providing the pollen grain various kind of what? This is resistant to the acids and the, lots of things, right? Okay, so the space that you see, the spore that you see is basically known as what? The germ pore. This germ pore is basically help in the germination of the pollen tube, germ pore, and this is the pore where the sporopollen is absent, right? So this is the outer layer, right? This is the outer layer of the sporopollen, as you can see in these figures, right? So let's see what is being mentioned in the textbook. So this is what? 20 to 25 to 50 micrometer in the diameter. It is what? Two-layered structure, outer the exine and the inner is the entine, right? So inner wall is what? Your entine, and this is the outer hard outer layer is what? The exine. This is made up of what? The most resistant organic material, and that is what? Your sporopollen. And it is basically, it help what? The pollen grain to what? Withstand the high temperature, strong acids, alkali also, as well as this sporopollen is helping the degradation from the various kind of the enzymes, right? And the germ pore is the site at which the sporopollen is absent. Okay, and the inner wall is basically of the pollen grain is what? Thin, and this is the continuous layer which is made up of what? Cellulose and pectin. Very important, right? And the mature pollen grain, they consist of what? The vegetative cells and the generative cells. Fine. Okay, you can what you can do, you can store the pollen grains, right? We can store the pollen grains, and we can use that pollen grain for the various kind of a thing. We can use that for the research, right? Or we can use that same pollen grain for the, for the germination perspective also, for the germination perspective. So if you are storing the pollen grain at a specific temperature, that is the what? Minus 196 degrees Celsius of what? Liquid nitrogen, right? Of liquid nitrogen gas, of liquid nitrogen. So this can be termed as what? Cryo preservation. Cryo preservation. Okay, this is important. Means you are storing the pollen grains and you want to use that, for various other purpose. So that process is basically known as what? Cryopreservation, right? So as you can see, the liquid nitrogen at minus 190 degrees Celsius can be stored, and the stored pollens can be used as what? Pollen banks, seed banks, as well as crop breeding programs. Fine. So this person in front of you is basically what? It is taking out the liquid nitrogen. Is taking out the liquid nitrogen. This container which you see of white color is maintained. It maintain the minus 196 degrees Celsius, right? And into this liquid nitrogen, you can simply store, and that is basically known as what? Cryopreservation. Okay. What is pollen viability? Pollen viability simply means what? The release of the pollens and it will go and land to this stigma, and after that landing, it may germinate, right? So release to landing and then to the germination. Then to the germination is basically known as what? Pollen viability, right? Means if the pollen are able to germinate, then simply means that pollen is termed as what? Pollen is viable, right? That pollen is viable. Okay. So pollen grains have to land on the stigma and before they lose the viability, right? So there are, I mean, this viability varies from plant to plant and species to species. If we just talk about the cereals just like the rice or the wheat, right? They lose the viability within the 30 minutes, right? So within the 30 minutes, they should be, I mean, the pollen grain should release. I mean, after the releasing of the 30 minutes, it should go land and as well as it should germinate, right? Some plant, just like the SLR, that is the Solanaceae, Leguminosae, or the Rosaceae family, the viability is for the month, right? Viability is for month. Okay. What is pollen allergy? Simply, if something is being exposed in the high concentration, right? I mean, suppose if this is your body and you are being exposed with the high concentration of the outer particle, outer matter, this may what? Elect a immune response inside your body, right? So similar case, if you just talk about the wind pollinated flower, in them, pollens are generally released in the high concentration. So because of this, if the high concentration of this pollen, it goes inside your body, it will generally what? Elect an immune response, that is known as what? Pollen allergy. So because of this, I mean, the eyes may be the watery eyes, the running nose, or some kind of allergy. So you can simply write the red eye or the watery eyes can be seen, right? As well as the fever may also can be seen in some persons. So fever, running nose, and all. Running nose is basically the symptoms or the side effects of the allergy. Okay, so why this is happening? Because this is the outer particle and this is it is going inside your body. It is what? Electing an immune response, and because of this, you are getting these things. Okay, so or I mean, if you just talk about the pollens, what kind of a pollen is basically causing this? So the answer is parthenium or the carrot grass, which you got from the what it basically came to India with the imported wheat, right? So it came to the India with the imported wheat, and this parthenium or the carrot grass is basically causing the pollen allergy. And this, I mean, if you just talk about this, this may lead to various kind of problem, the respiratory problem. What kind of a problem? Just like the asthma or bronchitis can be seen in some patients. Okay, so is this? I mean, is there any other example of these other than the parthenium? Yeah, there are. So it could be your chino podium, or it could be your amaranthus. So amaranthus of these, they also may cause the pollen allergy. Okay. Yeah, pollen as a substitutes. So you can use these pollens. You can use these pollens as a what? Food supplement. Pollen as a food supplement. Why this? Why I should use this? Because this is rich in amino acids. This is rich in what? Anti oxidants. I mean, it will provide you the energy also because it is rich in the sugar, right? So it is rich in the sugar. So this pollen can be used in the terms of what? The syrups. I mean, you can use this as what? As this is rich in nutrients, you can use simply as a what is food supplements, right? And you can use this in the form of the syrup. You can use this in the form of tablet or the cream. Anything you want, you can simply use because I mean, it's available in the market, and this is basically increased or this help in what? Performance of the athletes plus the race horses. Okay, thank you.